Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very intriguing news when it comes to the PlayStation 5 scalping, and as well, I'd also probably put this a little bit towards the Xbox Series X's too as well, where it does kind of feel like a lot of the pressure is finally being taken off of all these restocks. And as well, one kind of really nice thing too, and I've actually had a chance to go reach out and talk to some of these scalpers, actually sent me some messages and emails for it, and I overall think it's very intriguing to go and see. But one really interesting thing is basically the fact that we actually had a massive scalper, basically stock dump, where they try their best to get rid of as much stock as they possibly can as of these past like 2 weeks. And a lot of the times, I think apparently these folks actually might be finally retiring and giving up when it comes to the restocks. So we have a lot of things to go and talk about. Now, of course, this is not everyone. Of course, there's still going to be scalpers out there. Of course, there's still going to be like, different types of scalpers too. But it's always intriguing kind of hearing from the initial source, because as of right now, a lot of these stocks are in all these like really higher prices, third-party prices. The fact that it's even hard to still get these consoles over a year, a lot of this kind of comes down to the fact that botters and scalpers are still so prevalent. But looking at some internal like third-party information, and as well hearing from first-party folks actually selling stuff, kind of leads to a lot of intriguing things. So if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console, and controller, as well as with the brand new Samsung SSDs down below if you guys want to check that out for your PS5 or in general. Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow, and of course sign up for Weeble, deposit $100. You guys go get free stock and free money. Go ahead and base 2 as well, link down below, and let's go dive into at least in my opinion, pretty good news. So I'm sure a lot of you guys know about this. So right as of these past few weeks, we've had what we like to go and call the holidays, which actually had two major things to kind of go and contribute towards the price and prices for these consoles. So number one is on the fact of, obviously, when it comes to Christmas, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you have a lot of big sales you have to go and focus on. So what does that mean when you want to go and sell consoles? Number one is you just basically go and you want to dump as much stock as you possibly can. And now this is kind of the big topic point of this video, is that we have now talked to multiple different scalpers, and also have seen it on like Reddits, on tweets, and just general pricing, that as of right now, a lot of these scalpers are trying to go and dump and get rid of any extra stock they have, even as of right now. So why are they doing that? What's the point of this? When it comes to the holiday rush, you obviously already know you get a lot more extra money for your console. You have a lot more basically just demand. You have a lot of parents, you have a lot of people get kind of sick of it, you get the holiday bonuses, and you just want to go get your console because you're seeing everyone else all getting happy and seeing their consoles, and you want to just go and get it. So obviously you have a really big amount of demand kind of come up for both Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Christmas, obviously, and the holidays. So what are like basically all these big retailers go and do? They do a lot of big restocks, which we actually have seen throughout these past like 6 weeks or so. And there's just a lot of consoles flooding the market, which I think is a good thing. The overall ending thing that scalpers are losing money is great. So with that, we have a massive influx of basically consoles being sold. So you have a lot of these big retailers just going out thousands and thousands of consoles. And you also have all these botters and scalpers trying to bot as much as they can. But we have now actually had on multiple different reports that as of right now, scalpers are basically trying to go and ditch out as much stock as they possibly can. And they were also doing that throughout the past 2 weeks. And you can basically go and see this mostly because if you guys go and use like the popular third-party selling websites, these console prices are at some of the lowest prices we've ever possibly seen. These prices are, as you guys can probably go and see, starting from basically around the start of November, the very start of the holiday season, which is the same exact time I was basically saying, hey, this is when a lot of that more attention. I also get a lot more brand new subscribers. If you guys are new, thank you for subbing. And then after all this stuff, it's just been a non-stop downwards trend, which I'd love to see this, because I'm sure you guys know the less money scalpers make, the better. And that's kind of the big reason why this point of this video. We have actually had multiple scalpers now reach out to me and state this, that they have actually went and have now flooded and gotten rid of all their stock. For them, they were getting a little bit worried because the prices are so low. Trying to go sell a console for only $600, $697. At that point, you're basically making like $130 or so. That's still not bad, but you also have to factor in shipping, you have to factor in the time wasted, you have to go factor in the gas to go get the console, and you also have to go pay attention to all the time you're wasting looking at restocks, looking at the consoles, looking at like my YouTube videos, whatever it is, and it definitely eats into the profit. But as well, on top of that too, there's a certain reason where there's a certain line where you just don't want to scalp. And I'd probably say, if you guys want to give your thoughts and comments down below, it'd probably be around like a $600 mark. I think once that $600 mark breaks fully, no one's going to want to go and scalp. Because at least for me in Illinois, it costs like $550 just to get my console no one's going to want to go through the process and all this extra stuff just for 50 bucks. At least for most people wouldn't want to do it. And especially when it comes to botters and stuff like that, to move that amount of stock, it's really hard. So we actually had one basically scalper come out and reach out to me stating that they had 100 consoles that they were basically saving and holding on to, and they had a chance to go and basically sell play at any point throughout this period because they kept on going more and more and more. But they noticed that their price was basically dropping all throughout the Christmas time, which would make a lot of sense because we had so many restocks going on. We've had like 3 different Target drops. We've had Amazon restocks anticipating. We had Best Buy drops. We've had like multiple GameStop walk-in events, and overall like a bajillion Walmart restocks. So this is actually a big thing, is that basically they're trying their best to go and sell out as much stock as they can, because you do not want to be the person out there that has 100 PlayStation 5 consoles and you're making $25 on the console if you hold on to it for too long. And especially, as I mentioned too, with the holidays, with the demand now going down, it's even harder to go and sell the consoles, to the point where some of these actual scalpers are basically saying, hey, like I had to go list my consoles for even under this price because they just weren't selling. We even had people go and be worried that they were selling their consoles for $675, which at the end of the day, you're still making a good profit as a scalper. So the fact that we're even seeing these scalpers and botters complaining about that is almost insulting, in all true honesty. But it's very intriguing because we've had multiple now reports. This is not just like a one-person thing or like a one-show thing. And you can also overall see it on the third-party markets. Like, just look at this straight-down graph. Now, I do think that's more so just because we've had so many restocks and people are getting their consoles on Walmart. And I think a lot of people would rather just go pay an extra like 15 bucks for a Walmart Plus subscription rather than paying $700 for a console. Plus, you have to deal with the scalper. What if they try to rob you? What if it's just bad? What if it's a broken console? All those extra worries, which is just not a good sign. So I always recommend you guys just go and shop retailer. So this is kind of been the big flood. We've had both retailers and now at this point, scalpers flooding the third-party markets. And this is great, because once again, scalpers only keep on scalping, botters only keep on botting as long as they're making money. There is no sense in doing this stuff. There's no sense in wasting your time if you're not making money. So this is why I always encourage you guys to go and buy retailer. Because if it's not you, it's someone else, and that basically once again encourages them to want to go buy another console that can be taken towards you or other folks out there. So right now it does seem like scalpers are basically flooding the markets, trying to get as much of their stock out of their way because they don't want to be sitting on these prices. Now, I would actually, if I had to go and guess, I'd probably imagine the prices will actually go and have a nice little uptick. We've seen a few like really big restock waves like around over here, where it basically goes around to 809 and kind of dips down, and people are like, oh, that's good, and then it has a little more of a bounce up. Because sometimes, you know, especially after the holidays, we'll probably have a few less restocks, probably have a little bit more, you know, kind of like dry days, a little bit more on that. And it's going to be not as good because we've also seen a lot of semiconductor issues with the PS5s, Xboxes, and even the now Nintendo Switches, which we made videos on yesterday, where it's just not as good. They're still going to have a little bit more production issues. But the double whammy right now with all these big retailers doing so many big restocks is great, because the lower the price, the less likely we'll have more scalpers in, and we'll finally at some point have that equilibrium. We'll finally have that point where you can maybe go and have a restock last longer than like an hour, because it's not being fully bought out by both bots and scalpers, because it's hard for them to go and resell their stock, which is great. I love hearing that. I love seeing that. And as well, that when we're hearing actually reports now, once again, of all these scalpers basically just going and offloading all their stock. That's great, because once again, just normal supply and demand. As there's more basic supply out there, demand goes down. The prices, as you guys can even go and see over here, go down. And this is awesome, because I want to be able to go have you guys get your console. Will I miss doing restock stuff? Oh, absolutely. But I also can't wait to make other videos after making so many of these restocks and some of these day-to-day videos, and also having a break for once in my life. And I also want you guys to be able to go enjoy your games so we can go and talk about games and experience games all together, because I want you guys to have fun and not have to go pay so much extra $200 for a console. So the end of the moral of the story is the fact that we're seeing multiple now reports of these scalpers flooding their stock, getting worried, selling their stock, which has been making the prices go down lower, plus with all these big other retailers as well, restocking. And I do think they're getting scared. No one wants to be the one last guy holding on to stock. And the fact that we're also seeing scalpers having issues even selling their consoles is a good sign, because that means that you guys are holding out strong and you guys aren't succumbing to basically the scalper life. And that means you also have more of a chance for normal consoles. And basically, if we all hold out together, that means that scalpers themselves are going to maybe be left holding a lot of extra stock, that they might even have a chance to go and sell their stock for a loss, which at the end of the goal is probably what I want to be doing to those scalpers, because I don't want them to have to go make extra money off of all of us. So like I said, good news. I love hearing the fact that scalpers are basically, they're like basically selling their consoles for some of the cheapest prices we've actually seen in a long time. $600, they're still making money. They still shouldn't be complaining about it. But the fact that it even still to this day, a year later, still we have to deal with these scalpers is somewhat disappointing. But I do love to see the scalping situations getting better. I love seeing the fact that all these console restocks are getting better. And I love seeing the fact that scalpers are getting worried. And overall, the fact that all these third-party prices keep on going down and down and down. Although once again, they might have a nice little uptick too as well. I love to see this. So kind of give me your thoughts down below. And the fact that we've had multiple people reach out to this is kind of nice to go and see. So if you guys want to go give your thoughts, feel free to. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console, and controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well, linked down below. Same with those Samsung links too as well. And of course, get that free Weeble cash if you guys want to. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching, for hanging, for chilling. And I'll see you guys up on the next one. I love you guys.